All right, welcome back, guys, and welcome to round 6. We got Aaron and Taylor back here, and we got Aurora back here. We got two Auroras back here. One piloted by LK Singh, and the other piloted by Ian Chan. Now, Taylor, tell me a little bit about the Aurora mirror. Is this a fun mirror, or is this a miserable mirror?
I mean, it's an aggro mirror, so it's play draw dependent. Usually, the second player has the advantage, but the first player can, of course, make an embodiment of lightning and play out their channel. So, but more than likely, I would want to be on the draw in this matchup.
So
if I'm on the play, I would like to play a channel. I would like to, do that fun stuff like that, make an embodiment of lightning.
Looks like Ian starting out here. Oh, Sigil of Solace. That's a good turn 0 play. And Channel Lightning Valley. Oh, he didn't play it out. Okay. I think he flashed it there. He might have showed his hand a little bit, but
he just wanted to show it off. He was like, by the way, it's my arsenal.
LK blocking 4 on the flittering charge, playing around the channel there.
Interesting thing here. It looks like the Aurora has 0 blocks. Wait, I thought that was a... Yeah, that's a Sigil of Lightning and a channel. So he can take the 4, play it, and then pitch to Aurora to make an embodiment of lightning, or just play it out, I guess.
Yep. Yeah. So playing the Scar for Scar, trying to catch the Aurora with no blocking cards. Looks like that was the case. Getting 4 damage through and 3 life totals. Not a bad start for turn 0.
No, I would love to be 7 ahead. But this is going to be a crazy game.
Yep, although LK gets to start his first turn with an embodiment of lightning and Channel Lightning Valley already in play, potentially converting into another free card.
Important thing to note, they actually are both playing AB1 for the Arc-Light turns. The odds that they pitch are very slim, but there is an off chance if they do draw double blue on a turn like that, they will be pitching.
How likely is it that Aurora is just blocking Channel Lightning Valley at all? Is this just I'm blocking nothing?
Almost 0.
We're just going to the races here.
Yeah. I mean, as you see with the balance of justice, you're almost accepting that your opponent is going to be drawing all the cards, and you just want your 3 value. That's it.
That's true. Balance of justice kind of fallen through the wayside in the meta ever since the book bannings.
It's looks time.
Like it is time to come back. Gonna have to...
I see a snatch. Holy smokes.
Gonna have to second guess. Yeah, but if that snatch connects and the Aurora draws 2 cards, then Balance of Justice is online. That was the plan all along.
I don't think I want my opponent to be drawing all those cards.
Well, you said you don't want to be blocking either, right?
Oh man, I'm in a...
You're in a bit of a pickle here. Flittering charge coming in, 4 go again. You were right, Aurora does not care about blocking here. Take your free card. Probably wasn't going to stop it anyways.
Interesting. So 3 attacks in the defending Aurora's hand.
An exude confidence.
But we know there's a lightning card in Arsenal, which is going to be good for creating that embodiment of lightning if he wants. So he's pretty much playing on 6 intellect. Oh, finding that perfect focus. Oh, look at that. Look at that extended art. Oh.
Second strike coming in. Basically always online. Online here, coming in for 4 go again.
I like the way you hold the hand. You just say, no blocks. Yeah, cool.
Ian is saying, make me care. So far, he doesn't care yet.
This is pod racing now.
Got a lot of life to chew through. Once that life gets down to lower and armor starts to get a little bit scarce, we're going to be in for a lot of back and forth decisions. This game is going to be very interesting when it gets down to low life totals. Assuming one person doesn't completely roll the other, run away with the game.
Yeah, an important part of this game is Arc Lightning. Arc Lightnings tend to definitely change the game's matchup. So pitching the Lightning or the Channel Lightning Valley to keep it around for another turn. Coming in for 2 with go again.
2 damage is 2 damage, deciding to play it. And then ending with a snatch for 7. That is a pretty good going second hand, if I do say so myself.
Ah, he says you may draw your card. Ooh.
Blocking with the balance. Probably going to give it to him. Get that card back. But although you do give LK an arsenal here, giving him the snatch draw if you do that.
I guess you can give us the. Hmm.
He might be thinking about fully blocking this.
And just
Although
throw in a.
if he
a
blocks
one.
with those 2 blocks, that's probably not going to happen. Doesn't really have a lot of go again in that hand.
Sir, your hero ability is go again. You can make it work with the blue. Oh my! Ooh, we are gaming.
Looks like he wants that full hand, gives the snatch.
He's like, I'm gonna activate balance. I'm
Activate
gonna
the
play with it.
balance. Don't hear that too much nowadays.
That's what
Gonna
a
get
great
6-card hand.
what a great pick though. To play the balance of justice, knowing that your opponent's gonna draw Channel Lightning Valley Snatch on turn 1. Like what a great pick.
Both players coming out hot and heavy.
It's just 2, I promise.
It's just 1.
Oh, sorry,
1
it's
with
just
no go
1.
again.
Wink, wink. How would you respond to this? Would you block with the grass, or would you let it through, kind of knowing that there's going to be a channel here? What's
You
your
pretty
thought
much
process?
assume that it's a channel. You could give the grass with the Arknight just to make the Aurora have to take another game action before deciding whether or not to block the channel. It could also be something other than channel, like a discharge or something, but I think that the channel was kind of revealed on accident earlier. Yep. Denying the second strike here and the ability to see an extra card. Choosing to E-strike, thinking about what to put back. Probably having to choose go again here.
Coming in for 5 on hit, draw a card. 2 cards left. He's just trying to get some damage done. There's a chance that if he blocks this out, it might be correct to actually activate Grasp to make a rune chant to throw the second strike. I know the Aurora player probably wants to make an embodiment with the 2 floating, but cool little dice.
Thinking about here, probably how much he wants to delay this channel if there's a potential that he could completely block it out.
Maybe he could be thinking about a Crown of Providence with another 3 block. That could be a very possible line.
It would make it a little bit more annoying to play out this second strike.
Yeah. The second strike would actually have to go to the Grasp of the Arknight. Ooh.
Looks like that block might be the play here. Yep. Choosing to block 5, getting rid of this arsenal for a fresh card. Blocking 5, denying the channel for another chain link.
Or
Deciding
we go
to
again.
use the 2 resources on the embodiment, coming in for 4.
On hit, please let me play my second strike. Please, please, please.
Could potentially block this as well with the Lightning Grease, depending on how committed LK is to stop this channel Lightning Valley at this turn.
That'd be a crazy block out.
With the embodiment already made, we know that Grasp of the Arknight's probably not going to be activated, so
Yeah.
unlikely to be threatened by any arcane damage here.
Now he's probably thinking about, if he does have a 3 block, he's probably thinking, how much value does this 3 block give if I block with it? Or if I go to my turn and I play out my best, 3 or 4 card hand, how much value is it doing it compared to the 2 card hand that I have?
And we know this lightning valley is going to stick around for another turn anyways. Choosing to block 4 and then second strike coming in for 3, able to block out the entire turn to deny the second strike value. But 3 damage still threatens an on-hit.
Oh my.
He had the Sigil of Suffering.
And he draws a card from it. Holy smokes.
Very patient play, waiting for the last attack on the Sigil of Suffering. Didn't want to give the opponent the opportunity to pay the Arcane Barrier to deny the damage. Getting a block out and a card refunded off of the Lightning Valley. After fully blocking out that Lightning Valley turn, he gets to go into his turn with 3 cards, I believe.
This channel card looks really good. Has anyone thought about playing it? Holy smokes.
Well, I see 2 players that definitely have. There's probably a few more somewhere out in the wild.
Yeah. Ooh.
Starting off with Entwine Lightning, fusing a current funnel, coming in for 4 go again. We'll see if Ian is able to block out as efficiently as JK did, LK, in the last turn. Ooh, looks like kind of overblocking a little bit here with the Sigil of Suffering. It's pretty likely that the Arcane will be paid for here, which is the case. Makes sense pitching that blue.
Yeah. Nice.
So still covering up 4. Denied the Channel Lightning Valley from the Sigil of Suffering. Not able to get as much value as LK did. With Tunic not up, LK is going to have to make the decision between attacking with this Starfall or activating one of the 2-cost abilities.
You cannot. Starfall would be coming in for 1, and Grass would be good. And Aurora's not online. There's been no lightning cards played. Entwine Lightning
correct.
is elemental.
Entwine Lightning, not a lightning card.
Famously not a lightning card.
Famously the least lightning card in the game.
There have been many times when I'm playing on Talishar and I'll throw it for 1 and I'm just like, well, I have a 3-card IP pass.
Not sure what the last card in hand is here. Probably trying to think about what is the most awkward way to present. Oh, looks like a dude attacking with the Starfall. I wonder if he thought that he had played a Lightning. Nope, just deciding to attack for 1 to try and get something out of him. Not the greatest return, but still a life lead. Still forced a little bit of blocking out of his opponent.
1 Arcane, draw a card. Looking at his opponent.
Burn Up Shock, pretty nasty play here. That Arcane is tough to prevent without Tunic up. But the Shock represents a card draw here, and an extra card means the Burn Up will be harder to block out.
It looks like he's got Somersault Rabble in hand, so he's probably thinking about just throwing the 2-card 8. Hopefully, if there's a blue, red on top. Hopefully. Ben. Funny enough, with Tunic up, Suffering is actually not that good in this position against the Rabbles if they are coming in for 4.
Yeah, Sigil of Suffering seems to be a very skill-intensive card in this matchup, actually. Knowing that it is kind of difficult to pay for the Arcane Barrier, but at the same time, the punishment for your opponent successfully blocking it is quite high. So finding your spots to safely use it is quite tricky, actually. I believe the one was taken and a card was drawn. Using Tunic to attack with Starfall, not revealing too much information. Coming in for 2, threatening 6 damage.
That seems pretty good rate to me.
With only 1 armor left and the Tunic, it's not the easiest block here. Do you want to give a whole card on this Starfall? Okay, probably evaluating his hand, trying to figure out if he can afford to just take all this damage and throw a volley back, or if his hand is too weak, he should just preserve life. Looks like he is not here to preserve life.
Oh, he's here
to fight.
Insanely great card.
Taking 6. Ravenous Rabble coming down now, showing another burn-up shock, so we're going to have to deal with this again next turn. Committing to not blocking. Taking 4 a bunch of times. Aurora special. No on-hits. On-hits have already gone through this turn. Now it's just damage.
Man, this game is crazy. It's just 0 for 4s all day. Oh!
And once again, saving the Sigil of Suffering for the last minute to prevent the opponent from denying the value. No on-hit to block there, but, 0 for 5 is still 0 for 5. Strategically going under the opponent's life total to play Scar for Scar. Flesh and Blood 101.
That's what I say all the time, too.
Still under. Strategically playing a second Scar for a Scar.
Somersaulted back again. No. Looking like he's going to make the embodiment of lightning.
Lightning card played. Starfall coming in for 2 go again.
Oh, is this a snatch? Ooh.
Snatch threatening an arsenal here. And the embodiment of lightning. I assume these are the bread and butter Aurora turns that you really want to present a bunch of damage while simultaneously setting up for a powerful turn on the next cycle.
Yep.
We do see an Arc Lightning in the opponent's hand. Arc Lightning burn-up shock. Quite a deadly combination. However, with no arsenal and no embodiment. Question to know how much follow-up will be after if he decides to play those 2 cards together.
Yeah, more than likely, you're probably looking to try to arsenal the Arc Lightning for a 5-card hand. So he's probably trying to think about how to optimize a 2-card hand while blocking with Grasp and a 3-block. Yep. So maybe the burn-up shock Rabble, because that would get 1 card out of your opponent's hand and their final on their Grasp. So, but we'll see what he does.
Yeah, great use of the Grasp block. That's what it's there for. Making the embodiment. Burn-up shot coming down. Knew that was coming. LK is going to have to decide again. Does he want to eat the full value of this again, or is there any world in which he can block?
I'm on 4 is what he's saying right now. He's
coming down for 4, revealing a white border Scar for Scar.
As you can see, he's strategically under the other player for Scar for Scar. It was all planned.
One card left in Aurora's hand. Grasp of the Arcanite block still up for LK. Gonna have to decide again whether or not he wants to take this burn up, or is there a chance that he's going to be able to block out this and whatever might come next.
He's probably looking for a similar block as last turn. 3-block and Grasp is more than likely the optimal block at this point. If of course, if he has a 3-block. If not, he could probably block with Tunic, Grasp, and a 2-block attack. But he's probably not looking to do that. And he's probably not looking to take 8 either.
Tunic blocking a burn up shock would be decent value, but giving up your tunic, this early in the game, dare I say, could bite you. Pretty unlikely the Aurora has another D-react here.
Yeah, because he's also thinking about, like, what if his last card's like a snatch? If it's a snatch, then I'm like, oh.
It could also be a lightning press. We haven't really seen that come out in this game.
Yeah.
It's always something you have to think of in the back of your mind. It could definitely punish you for blocking.
Yeah. That's why you just try not to block at all. It's always been my method.
Deciding to pitch the Arc Lightning to come up with the Starfall, demanding another card to stop this burn-up shock.
Trying to deny the embodiment of lightning value, I assume.
Deciding that stripping cards from the opponent are potentially gaining 6 damage worth more than setting up this Arc Lightning in Arsenal. Unfortunately, Arc Lightning being a yellow, not going to be able to end the turn with an embodiment of lightning, but do what you got to do.
Man, imagine if that was a blue or tunic was up. Woo! Sheesh. Making that embodiment.
I believe I see a burn-up shock in LK's hand. Can't quite tell what the other cards are. Burn-up shock, strong card, very threatening. Not quite the best on turns where you're throwing only 1 or 2 small attacks.
Ooh, I see a Gauntlet Flash in hand, so probably thinking about how to best utilize that very powerful card from Rosetta. What I believe is the best, probably the second best Majestic from that set.
I believe both players have been blocking a bit more than maybe we expected. Those burn-up shock and Channel Lightning Valley and Snatch on hits are pretty scary. Kind of suspect that this game might come down to who is able to establish a strong arsenal card, and then we'll be able to throw a full 5-card hand at the opponent. Again, we're getting down to those life totals where armor's gone and all it takes is one, strong 4-card string to threaten lethal.
I see a burn-up shock, another suffering, and a Gauntlet Flash. Insane amounts of D-reacts being drawn. So I'd assume the Aurora just wants to play out like a 1-card 6 with like a tunic Starfall here, arsenaling the suffering.
Pretty good value.
If I say so myself.
No on hits, don't care. 4 damage, we'll take that all day. Strategically going under Scar for a Scar. Starfall coming out. Sigil of Suffering going into the arsenal. That card has been exceptional for LK this game. Arc Lightning coming out. We'll see if there is an excess blue in LK's hand to
I think there was. I saw
dull some of this. Might not even be worth doing. We'll see. Could just say, yeah, I'll take the Arcane. I don't care. If your damage doesn't draw cards, then it doesn't matter to me. No Channel Lightning Valley in play.
Then what are you doing? What a great game so far. 4 with
Do you think it's likely that the Lightning Greaves ever get activated on any of these turns, or do you think they're mostly just for the block and the Arcane Barrier?
It's just for block and Arcane Barrier. If you're using it, you're going for a insanely unique gone the flash turn, I would assume, or something to your tunic would have to be at 3. You have to go like E strike, play, lightning press in response, greaves or something. It would require like a very oddly specific hand configuration to use them. So looking to pick up the Gauntlet Flash again. Staying strategically.
Strategically still under scar for scar. Not wasting the go again.
Classic.
Doesn't seem that LK cares about the vanilla damage here. He does have the Sigil of Suffering. So far, he had seemed to wait until the last possible attack to play it to guarantee the arcane damage. Might end up being the case here. Probably thinking about whether or not this Gone in a Flash is going to be thrown at the end of this combat chain or put in the arsenal. Yep, deciding to play it now to make Ian choose whether or not he wants to pitch this whole card to deny that arcane.
No, go back.
Looks
You should
like he
get
didn't.
13. No.
Ian's thinking here if he needs to just throw this 4 damage now or if he needs to arsenal it. With a guaranteed embodiment on your next turn, arsenaling it can unlock quite a powerful hand potentially, but you are only at 10 life and your opponent has a full hand. The chances are that you get to keep a big hand is pretty slim.
Yeah. But with the Gone the Flash, it is lining up into that way that you can use that rare Lightning Greaves turns with the Gone the Flash. But 4 cards, you have to assume that they can do 10 damage to you. Oh, I see a Arc Lightning in the hand. Also, Arc Lightning. Lightning Press. That's a pretty spooky combo. You're at lower life totals.
Maybe LK is thinking on doing something at the end of Ian's turn. Maybe Ian has passed priority.
Mm-hmm.
Seems to be thinking about maybe some instant play. Maybe he doesn't really like all of the cards on offense on his turn and wants to maybe make an embodiment.
Maybe we'll have to see. Trying to think of
Trying to find all them lightning presses. Where are they at? We haven't seen them yet. I think one might have got pitched for a lightning flow earlier.
Oh yeah. I guess you could always lightning press your opponent's attack.
Deciding to pitch the lightning press for the arc lightning.
Oh, there's no
Dang.
attack in the hand.
Oh, that is unfortunate. Does that mean he wasn't able to block even if he wanted to? Or no, he has an arc lightning, so he's just trying
He has
to
2 arc lightnings. Huh.
Oh, I see. That is not the hand you want to see for offense. Although with double arc lightning and does he have a blue?
I don't know what
Grass
that
with
is.
the Arc Knight, Starfall. You could get some damage in, but threatening lethal, I'm not so sure if he's going to be able to strip cards. Is that
Wait, is
another
that?
lightning press?
Yeah, I was about to say, is that art light, press?
How disaster might have struck. We might have needed this Sigil of Suffering to be a sink below.
No,
Double arc lightning, double lightning press is not the hand you want to see.
I guess you go arc light.
I think like arc Starfall is like the only thing you could do here.
Trying to set up for that big turn.
No, setting it up. But now, unfortunately, LK is in the same position that I just thought that Ian was in. Now he has 10 life and the opponent has a full hand and an embodiment of lightning. The chances you get to keep a full hand and utilize this arc lightning probably aren't the greatest. Although I said that last turn and I was wrong, so. Just Runeblade things. Deciding to take it. Like his hand. He did have a Sigil of Suffering, but figured that it was better used for pitch or for arsenaling it. Which makes sense. That card has been exceptional this game. E-Strike. Choose draw a card, coming in for 5, gaining go again. Showing off the power of Embodiment of Lightning. Ooh, I think that was a Lightning Press and a Channel Lightning Valley.
Sheesh.
Almost certainly going to be able to draw a card off the Lightning Valley this turn because of that.
And because of those, he also gets to go Tunic Starfall, which is going to be a massive deal here. He's like, oh, you declare no blocks.
Okay, really wants to keep as many cards as possible this turn to try and threaten lethal, but looks like that's going to be quite a tall order. Ian actually drew attacks. I hear that's a pretty good success strategy.
I've been trying to do it this whole time.
Springboard Somersault deciding to block.
I'm going to play this. And I'm gonna
Lightning Valley, Lightning Press coming down.
Do you have the 7th D react? He asked.
Blocking with the Somersault and still taking damage. Getting to draw a card off of this.
Is gone the flash. And what did he draw? I don't know what that card is.
Tunic Starfall coming in for 2. I will say Electromagnetic Somersault was exactly the kind of card that LK needed to preserve his life total here. Being able to block 6 with 1 card. Looks like there's an Arcanic Shockwave and a Gone and a Flash left, so lacking a little bit of go again, but he at least gets to throw 4 and 1 Arcane after this Starfall, which will be lethal. Or not lethal, no.
Take him down to 1 if he says no blocks. But then a burn up shock off the top will kill him, or a suffering. Maybe he drew attacks this time.
These endgame positions are really where you have to decide what is it worth playing around. So many different options, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Do you play around the Sigil of Sufferings and the Shocks? Do you play around the Lightning Presses? Can you even afford to and still win the game? Got to play to your outs. Okay, thinking, is this the final turn that he has to present as much as possible? Or is he going to be able to potentially bank on Ian bricking a little bit?
Yeah, he's also probably thinking if he actually wants to block with Tunic here, because the chances of that Tunic getting to 3 is probably slim. Is it probably dying before the next 2 turn cycles? But
yeah, I think at this point, just because of shocks and stuff like that, I would probably rather have 1 life than this Tunic at this point.
Yeah.
Yep, Tunic coming down, going to 2.
Yep.
Wanting to keep as much offensive power as he could.
Arc lightning time, baby. Show us the power. Oh, it's the moment of
Arc
truth.
Lightning. Another Arc Lightning. Assuming his hand's a little bit more functional this time.
Man, having AB is strong.
Yep, Ian taking the opportunity to go ahead and pitch for the Arcane, knowing that he's going to have to be doing some blocking anyways. Might as well.
It looks like he's already
block
prepped
that
up his
Arcane.
hand of how he wants to block. Oh, having a 3 block in hand is pretty good too.
There's another Arc Lightning.
He just can't stop drawing them.
It's not quite the best card ever when you're in these very close endgame scenarios.
Yeah, maybe.
We'll see how many cards he's allowed to keep at the end of this turn.
I think if he can keep 2 0-for-4s, he'd be feeling pretty good. Maybe like the Rabble and the Gauntlet Flash and Arsenal.
E-Strike coming in. Choosing
Drawing a
draw.
call.
Coming in for 5.
Taking 3. Oh, AB1. If he has a blue, Grasp is a great pick here.
I think you still had that Static Shock, right? Scar for Scar. Strategically, once again.
Strategically staying under.
He knew
underneath.
the chances to draw Scar for Scar were high. And
Like 1 in 30.
He knew that it was going to get blocked. Going down to 2 here.
Turning off Scar for a Scar.
And then firing off the last 0-for-4. Looks like unable to block it. And LK will take the Aurora Mirror.
Wow, what a great game.
Yeah, that game ended up being very, very back and forth. I thought LK had a pretty commanding lead from the start, being able to block out that channel Lightning Valley turn as efficiently as he did, while also gaining a bunch of value from his Sigil of Sufferings. Just put him in such a great position, but you could see how quickly things slip away. Drawing that double Lightning Press, double Arc Lightning hand really stunted his ability to close that game and gave Ian a window to come back. But definitely well played. The intricacies of the Aurora Mirror really coming through there.
Oh yeah,
Absolute good game. Good luck to the players, and thank you everyone for Game 6. We'll see you guys, Game 6. We'll see you guys in the next one. Welcome back, guys, to Round 7, the final round of Swiss at Battle Hardened Hong Kong. We have a winning in here. A Viserai versus New. Viserai piloted by Issac, and New piloted by Kelvin. Kelvin Law, you probably heard his name before. He plays quite a lot of Flesh and Blood, I hear.
Yeah. I think I've seen the name once or twice on the leaderboards for XP.
Yeah, top XP leaderboard hanging around there.
Yeah,
Definitely a very experienced player in the scene.
Yeah, he's been playing New for a while.
Yeah, playing a bit of New. I always remember seeing him playing Dash quite a bit.
Oh yeah. So, what's your opinion on the Viserai New matchup?
Well, New is very annoying. New has a lot of blues, can block, has a lot of disruption. Viserai doesn't like being disrupted. So I think this game is going to come down to how consistently the New is going to be able to disrupt the Viserai and how well the Viserai is going to be able to play through that disruption. Will he find the correct setup pieces and auras when the New tears his hand apart? Or will the Siren's Calls and Command and Conquers just ruin the New's days? It also probably depends on if the New is playing Counter Blessings or not.
Yeah, I've always thought that this matchup was Viserai favor, just due to the ability to stack. If you get disrupted too hard, you can stack 2 or 3 damage turn over turn.
Yeah, these new Viserai builds are very resilient, actually, to that. As
Yeah.
we've seen with like how the deck interacts with Warmongers, being able to just make rune chance and play auras when your turn doesn't do anything else. You don't really have to be like throwing attacks every turn.
What's your
New
thoughts
going first.
on Face Purg over Crown of Providence?
Face Purgatory, strong card from Rosetta. New, likely to attack for a higher damage, with Command and Conquers and stuff. So the Face Purgatory, it's going to be used to block those. You're going to need to block Disruption at some point anyways, so making it a little bit awkward for New to keep a extra card in hand to potentially Arsenal could give a lot of value for the Viserai. I think it makes sense.
I agree. New here representing Pummel with 2 floating.
As always.
Mm-hmm.
No turn 0 transcends, no sneaky stuff so far, just throwing some damage. Allowing the Viserai to filter a little bit, but maybe catching them on some cards, doing some deck damage if this game ends up going that long. Making the Viserai block some just accelerates the game to that state.
Yeah, so it looks like the card that the Viserai kept back was actually a meet and greet. So that's kind of interesting.
I like meet and greet.
Good
Two Sigil of Sufferings, not what you want to see on offense going on your first turn of the game, unfortunately.
And that card was really good in our last match that we commentated.
Yeah, very, very strong with Channel Lightning Valley. Unfortunately, Viserai is a talentless boy. Doesn't get to play lightning cards.
For now. We might get a new Vis soon.
Isaac thinking about how he's going to maybe strategically pitch this Sigil of Suffering to the bottom of his deck.
Coming in for 4 without go again.
4 with no go again. Unfortunately, all reds, no non-attack actions. Just not a very strong start. No rune chance, no setup.
The 4
Fairly
card
rough.
4. I mean, I've been there. I've done it.
Just Runeblade things.
Just Runeblade things.
But the games aren't decided by the first turn of the game, especially in a matchup like this. So
always having the D-React.
New definitely has a lot of breathing room to start pumping out some disruption and some offense, but as you said, Viserai is fairly resilient, and we'll see Rune Chance coming.
Oh yeah, we will. So the interesting thing is, do you Arsenal the D-React, thinking about the CNCs, or do you actually do you actually set D-Reacts into New? Personally, do you?
Well, seeing as you're gonna have it either in hand in Arsenal anyways.
Mm-hmm.
If they play a Command and Conquer, it's still bricking it in the same way, and you're gonna have to block. So I would probably just Arsenal it to give yourself more real blocking cards in your hand. And if they don't CNC, it's definitely better to have the D-React in your arsenal. See if Isaac agrees with me. It's arsenaling 2 cards with New Horizons.
Wait.
No, I'm just kidding.
Did he just...
Nope. Oh, I think he caught himself. Yep. Drawing 3 cards. I believe he did Arsenal the Sigil of Suffering.
Yeah.
New starting out with a Levels of Enlightenment. No Transcend as of yet. Just picking 5. I believe he has a Path Will Travel in his hand.
He does.
Yep. Waiting for reactions so that he can get him with the Mask of Recurring Nightmares. Not really looking to use New's hero ability here, or else you would use the Path Will Travel while the Levels is resolving to get an extra mode. Instead, would rather be able to rip a card from the hand. New throwing levels is always very awkward because you don't really want to block things that aren't disruption when you're trying to kill the new, but at the same time, damage is damage, and you can only not block for so long.
Yeah. So what he's probably looking to do here is probably trying to bait out a block, give it go again, activate new, play Codex. Oh, well, the Mask of Reincarnate. I forgot there's a thing you can do in this deck. Oh, what a broken hero. Why is no one talking about this hero?
Mystic talents are pretty good, I hear.
Yeah, and then he gets to play a one mean Codex.
Yeah, banishing a card with that Mask of Recurring Nightmare. Going to be able to get the CNC back, threaten that Sigil of Suffering. Pretty great sequence for Kelvin so far.
No joke. Forcing 2 blocks. He more than likely will just want to pitch to Grasp here. Make a rune chant and pass. Or maybe he'll want to swing. I don't know.
Unfortunately, no Malefics or anything to read the runes to try and set up, so looks like just going to be swinging 1 rune chant and then 2 from the sword because of the frailty token. Kelvin not interested in this meager damage, choosing to block with the arm piece just to get the counter off of it so that he's free to use it. Maybe telegraphing that he might want to use the reaction on this next turn, or at least threaten the ability to use it. Could potentially see something like a Bonds of Agony come out.
Oh, yeah.
There's that Bonds of Agony.
I love the Bonds of Agony 4 cards play. And you just stare at your opponent and see how they block.
Very difficult to block this, especially if it's followed up by a Just a Nick or something.
Yeah.
But it's so devastating to let hit.
Although
you know the path well traveled was just used in the last turn, so that's one thing you don't have to worry about. He did choose to blow the arousing wave armor instead of the stilettos, so you know that he's probably going to go tall instead of wide on this turn.
So
Still choosing to only block with armor. We know he has a D-React. Maybe he has another one. Or maybe he's just hoping to dodge just the Nick. Rousing Wave coming out. Pitching Sigil of Solace. Probably would have preferred to have a blue there so he could misblade.
Oh, he's got another one in hand.
He does. Oh, and without the blue, these Sigil of Sufferings are pretty likely to come through unless Kelvin wants to discard whole cards for this. He does have a tunic counter for 1, though. I believe the bonds would come in for 10 here, right?
Yeah.
So if no Arcane Barrier is pitched, he would be blocking 10. Unfortunately, Kelvin is aware of that, decided to pitch his Sigil of Solaces to prevent the block power. So currently only blocking 5, potentially blocking 9 here. Looks like this Bonds is looking to connect. Ooh, with a Revel in Runeblood in hand is not good.
Not at all.
Yep, looks like Bonds will connect for 1 damage. Reveal the hand. Yep, snap, take that Revel in Runeblood. One of Viserai's most powerful cards, just all gone from his deck immediately. How does that affect the long-term implications of this matchup?
Well, it means that you aren't playing any turn 0 ninth blades from earlier in the battle card. It's not where I would want to be at. I'll say that.
2 Sigil of Solaces going to the bottom of Kelvin's deck for the late game.
Oh yeah, this game might be going late.
Haven't seen a Counter Blessings yet.
Hey, but you never know.
We do see the Sigil of Solaces, so it could still be part of that. Or it could be more of a traditional new. Viserai paying into this Sonata Arcanix, trying to fish for something here. Need to get the ball rolling.
I just see really bright cards.
I see 3 non-attacks. Looks like he hit something.
A Rune Jab. Yellow, I believe.
Yellow Rune Rager Swarm. Not the greatest hit ever, but, it's better than a whiff. Coming in for 1 Arcane, using Tunic to prevent it.
No, you can't do that. No. Okay, so I think the scariest thing that New could do here is probably block with boots. It's like, oh, again? So coming in for probably 2 to go again, making 1 in the back, and then so he has full public information on what his turn is going to be.
Looks like we have a
I see a
Bonds
cheat
of
card.
Memory, Stealth card, cheat card.
Important note.
There might be 2 cheat cards.
It looks like the grasp has 1 more block left for the Mistblade. He's letting his opponent know that he's taking damage to make sure that the New can't gain life. It's actually the real reason.
Strategically keeping his life total underneath the new.
Yeah. Oh. Genius.
Oh,
Genius.
actually, yeah, there was a Sigil of Solace in Arsenal. So deciding to take a inefficient block on the 2 power attack and then take the Reaping Blade so that he could go exactly 1 under to get this Sigil of Solace out of his arsenal. Very, very smart number play by Kelvin. That means all those Sigil of Solaces were clumped up pretty heavily. He pitched 2 on the same turn and then had 1 in arsenal.
Yeah. We got our reader. Someone didn't play Mistveil Limited.
Kelvin should get some Japanese Mistveil cards.
That's always
Trick
a
the
fun
opponent.
idea. I always like the alternate language endless winners.
To be fair, all like the common stealth cards are like they have 2 abilities and they're slightly different but kind of similar. You're like, which one is this again? Cares about names or colors? I forget. Activating Mask of Recurring Nightmare. Gonna put back the Codex of Frailties targeted choice. Pretty good target.
I think so. Right next to the sigils. Yeah, I noticed that they have the round clock out for this match, so
Very,
pressure
very conscientious of that. However, 28 minutes left remaining. Quite a bit of time has gone by already. Kelvin's playing pretty quickly. I think experienced new players kind of know the flow of the game and know what they kind of need to do, but they might need to pick up the pace a little bit before they start running into some problems.
Well, the issue is New does like 3 damage per turn cycle, so you have to kind of slog through it. Mordred
Well, if there's one way to accelerate the game, that's definitely it. Playing Mordred Tide. Tunic for the meet and greet, making 2 rune chance, coming in for 4, potentially making another 2 if it hits. I would assume Kelvin will not allow that to hit.
Yeah, I think this would be a great stiletto block with the 3 block if he's going to do it, or if he just has a blanket D react. Holy smokes. I would be sweating right now. I would.
Wow. Kelvin must have an insane hand.
Oh my god.
Yeah, never mind. Yeah, who cares about 2 rune chance? I'm just gonna bonds you again. Bonds, 3 cards in hand, 1 in arsenal.
That's like Didn't even block with stilettos either.
Viserai probably doesn't have a double D react again.
Bonds is staring into his soul. Not swinging Mistblade either. Like there's so many little things here. You're just sweating. You're like, does he have a double nick, a hiss, a fang strike?
Could be double nick. Could be transcend mask.
Yeah, there's just so many options that he could have here, and I don't want him to have any of them. This might be a good place for the face perk.
Whatever cards Kelvin has, you definitely know that he plans on using all of them, or else he probably would have blocked that meet and greet.
At least you know it's not a Sigil Solace.
Could be 3 counter blessings.
Ooh. Yep.
Now's the time. Face Purgatory. Kelvin's going to have to discard a card before reactions.
I see Codex, Hiss, a blue card, I assume, and whatever his arsenal is. Yeah, Bonds of Attraction, I believe, is the blue.
Yeah, potentially he might have wanted to. Yeah, his Codex was probably his game plan, but the Face Purgatory throwing a wrench there. Could still use the stilettos, even though he hasn't blocked with them yet. Kelvin, think about his options here. Only 25 minutes remaining, though.
And this is a win for top 8, I believe. So they got to start zooming.
Looks like Hiss will be the card discarded. Oh, he does. He has a Transcendent arsenal. Nice.
Oh my gosh. Are you...
Fang Strike? No, he bottomed it.
Oh, he's better than me right there. My monkey brain's telling me to instantly play it.
Looks like he's wanting to mask. Could still stilettos here if he wants to play out this Codex. Instead, choosing not to. The Face Purgatory really shutting down what he wanted to do there.
Now he's living in
choosing to save it for the next turn.
Okay.
So finally setting up some auras. Following up with
2 rune chants, making... Yeah, there we go. Yeah, 4 rune chants, making 2 in the back. Taking down an incant. So letting his opponent know that it's definitely online. At least 4 would go again.
Got a Persuasive Prognosis. Kelvin Law keeps drawing these disruptive blue stealth cards.
If I could draw like that, I think I'd be playing new too.
Still 33-33 though.
Yeah.
Although Kelvin's turn cycles have looked very impressive so far, the progress on life totals haven't been the greatest.
That's about every new ever. Yeah.
You're staring down 8 damage right now. Viserai recovering a little bit after the very bad first turn of the game. Still have to consider that all of his Revel and Rinbloods were snatched away by the bonds.
True.
To see how that affects later in the game.
Yeah.
Only so many power cards left without those.
I believe he's got 2 more Mordreds left, so. Over pitching and leave no witnesses, so he's got 2 floating.
Definitely telegraphing a Codex play here. sniffing out the codex, checking the graveyard, see what the options are. Although usually in this case, it's mostly CNC.
Let's see. So he wants. We've seen what 2 bonds and a prog now. Probably thinking
2
about
bonds played, prognosis
Yeah.
in the pitch.
He's probably thinking about why he wanted to swing this Mistblade.
See if it's worth respecting or not.
Yeah. He could play like a blue strike after this, drawing a card or something like that with Tunic up, which could be a disaster if he draws any disruption.
Deciding to just take it. That grass block or blocking Mistblade, probably better options in the future. Codex coming down. Again, pretty telegraphed, so CNC. Your standard play. Quickly blocking 6. Resolving Ponder and moving on.
Barely even looking at it. I like it.
Kelvin
20 minutes in a round left.
Yep, Kelvin really trying to pick up the pace a little bit as much as he can.
Did the old bait and switch about attack you? Wait, hold on.
Starting out with a Swarming Gloomveil, no non-attack action played.
So 3 with go again. Starting to look like speed chess.
Kelvin taking the Rune-Chant, blocking, preserving a little bit of life. Taking the Rune-Chant. Taking the Reaping Blade.
Crazy after all of this that Viserai's up 5 life, because every turn from New has just looked super impressive. Just disruption and...
New chose to keep the Fate Foreseen in hand, probably going to end up in the arsenal.
Holy smokes, what a hand from the Viserai I saw.
Saw Dirge. What else was in it?
Mordred
Dirge. Oh, yeah. Viserai ain't blocking. Okay, maybe he'd blocking.
I don't even
Maybe
know
not.
if you block this.
I forget what's in the arsenal, or if we know.
I don't think we have knowledge, or if we do,
honestly, you probably just let it go and like keep Mordred.
Oh, whoa!
Oh man, blocking with Mordred Tide is so risky.
That's so scary.
Unless it's like another Mordred Tide in his arsenal. That's right. Definitely has to remember that his revels are gone, so he needs to keep all of the power in his deck that he can.
Yeah, and we know he's playing 9th Blade, so we don't know how many, but like we are aware that he is playing these big.
Yep.
So what was
Taken
it?
4. It was another Mordred Tide. And a Rune Rager Swarm goes away, making 2 silvers, I believe.
Yes.
Red Rune Rager.
That means he can buy back his Mask of Perdition later.
Yeah. Black Tech Whispers.
Yeah.
So we got a Mordred Tide killed by Leave No Witnesses. Unfortunate, but Viserai does have another Mordred Tide. And he's going to play it from hand. And another Malefic. And another a Dirge, right?
Yeah.
Oh, he's about to make a bunch of Rune Chants here.
So he's going to make 2, make 4, go to 8, I believe.
Unfortunately, card in hand is just a Rune Flash. No 9th Blade to be seen here. Playing it anyways.
Making 6 on the back?
Yep. Doubling up on these Malefic incantations.
Man, this Tunic is this is a good Tunic right here.
That is quite the turn.
He's looking. He's decided that he can just...
Wants to preserve some life.
Yeah.
Pitching. Probably going to use this Fate Foreseen on this Rune Flash. Oh, he had a Sink Below as well. Think he chose to keep that card on top of his deck?
Yeah. I think he's thinking about if he wants to keep the 6 rune chance to draw 9th blade.
You could save your Tunic counter, not throw the Reaping Blade this turn. Save the 6 rune chance for a potential power turn on the next. But seeing as that he's already committed a lot of his resources to defense, wanted to get in the damage while he could. Makes sense. Punish slightly, gave Kelvin the ability to use that Sink Below when otherwise he probably wouldn't have. Oh, never mind, he would have arsenaled it anyways, so.
Yeah, he just lost 1
got some
value.
damage through.
I think it's fine.
Coming in with this. What is this card called? It's in Japanese. I believe it's Essence of something. I think it's the Mind. I forget what the assassin.
If you
essence
banish
is
a
called.
blue, I think you draw a card and gain a life or something.
Yeah. What's the name of it?
I thought you were a gamer. What happened?
There's too many Essence cards.
It's insanity to me that, like, after watching this game so far, that New has just, like, is 7 life down.
You did say Viserai. You felt that he was favored in this matchup.
I do, but
We
not
could
when they
see
rip
that
your Mordretide out. I mean, your Revel and Runebloods definitely hurt.
Ripped the Revels, killed a Mordretide in Arsenal.
Yeah.
I do believe that. While the Viserai is able to keep up in damage now, and the ability to create Rune Chance turn by turn has been pretty good to play through Disruption.
The deck's looking a little
For
small.
the long game, I do worry about Viserai's threat density. And while Kelvin is 8 life down, he is still at 20. We know he still has sigils in the deck. You know, his ability to pitch to Rune Chance is only going to go up as, you know, deck sizes get smaller and his deck's full of blues.
Mm-hmm.
I am a little worried about Viserai's ability to end this game. We also only have 14 minutes left.
Speed gaming soon. I see Justin Nick, Hiss. Does he have an attack to go with all these great attack reactions? Ooh. Playing one of, I know, your favorite cards.
I love Drawn to the Dark Dimensions. Drawing cards is so good. Kelvin blocking 3.
Creepers. Probably playing that Incant. Playing the
Iron
Rune
Rod
Flash.
Jordans.
Like I should have one more. I don't think that's a trigger you can really miss. So playing that Incant, playing the Rune Flash.
Creepers in another Incant. Looks like Amplify is a potential follow-up.
Ooh. I don't hate it because you have nothing floating, and then you would end the turn with 2 Rune Chance.
Coming in for 6 and 3, making 2 Rune Chance. Arsenaling this Rune Flash.
That's a good arsenal.
Turn-to-turn cycles have been pretty good for this Viserai.
Yeah, they have.
I've been blocking with a pretty Fate Foreseen.
Ooh. It blocks for 5.
It opts 2 cards. Going in for CNC for 6, pitching the Art of Desire Mind. Finally figured it out.
Good use of the tunic there.
Oh, it's the red one. All these cards that change names. Art of Desire body. My apologies. I figured it out. Again. I think.
I hope.
Maybe we'll see an Art of Desire soul later on.
Really get into Prism. $11 minutes. They gotta fly. I think I'm gonna dirge. Go to 4. Make 2
We
in the
see a
bag.
ninth blade in hand. I don't know if there's a way he can't play it this turn, but he might look to put it in an arsenal. It'd be pretty hard to cast it without Revel and Runebloods in your deck, but he might feel like he needs to go for that high roll to potentially close this game out.
You gotta believe, Aaron. You gotta believe.
I definitely think Viserai is in a fine position here.
Agreed.
I think in an untimed setting, New is fine here. But I think that closing this game out within the next 10 minutes is going to be quite a difficult ask.
They are. I don't think Kelvin could play any faster. I physically don't think.
They definitely know what's going on, though.
Every time you draw Become the Arknight, you have to think about every card in your deck. And you have 10 minutes left, and you're like, oh.
And
I
then you
can't
just
go-
pitch it anyways.
Ooh, it's a blue block 3. Wow.
Remembering Tunic. Viserai hands aren't the most straightforward thing, even if you're trying to play fast. Unfortunately, sometimes you can't just draw a hand and instantly know what to do. Gonna have to take a few seconds to figure this out. We got to Succumb and Become the Arknight. No Rune Chance currently in play, but a Malefic out. Creeper's still up. Have quite a few options here. Potential card draw with the Drawn to the Dark Dimensions. It's like activating Grasp and then probably playing the Drawn. Probably thinking about whether or not he wants to play the Succumb face up or keep it as a reaction. Looks like he wanted to play it face up. So he gets to make a Rune Chant.
Yeah, make a Rune Chant, draw a card.
Drawn costing 1. After the Rune Chant resolves, Drawn will draw a card.
He's like, I have to draw this. There's no...
Does not have go again. Unless he draws a non-attack. He does draw a non-attack. Although Rattlebones and a red, unfortunately, he has not dealt arcane damage this turn.
No, not the creepers. No.
Looks like he's not going to be able to play this Rattlebones at instant speed, and he does not have the resources to activate creepers and also play it. I think his turn is just over here. Or is it not? I'm not sure where the other action point came from.
I don't know either.
Talking about the Malefic, that made the Rune Chant to discard the Drawn, but I don't think...
No.
Succumb needs to be played at instant to get an action point back. I don't think it was.
No, I don't
Kelvin
think
would
he
have
had
needed...
even swung at that turn.
He can't Creepers the Succumb in because he didn't attack, but I don't
And
think
then
Kelvin
the creepers
took
should
arcane
go
damage.
away after this turn.
I don't think Kelvin took arcane damage, yeah. I'm not quite sure what happened there, but players seem to be okay with the outcome. Probably more concerned about the time.
We didn't see the lead the charge. That's what happened.
There was a lead the charge?
Sure.
Oh,
Makes
okay.
makes it easier.
That's the story. We're sticking to it.
Yeah. No cards in hand. This might be a great Tunic block right here.
Either black with tunic or an excess card in your hand. Don't have to worry about any sneaky reactions. Kelvin just wanting to get a card out of Viserai's hand. Oh, it looks like Sigil of Suffering was flashed.
6 minutes left in this matchup, and we got 35 life left in between the two.
Viserai's deck is looking fairly thin, though. Looks like deciding to block the Persuasive Prognosis with the Sigil of Suffering, getting the arcane damage in. Rattlebonesing, Swarming Gloomveil, classic line.
Coming in for 4 and 1, making 2 on the back, which is pretty good rate, if you ask me. I see a Rune Flash in hand, so we might be seeing a Rune Flash after this, and then a Reaping Blade.
Kelvin just wants to survive as long as possible until the Viserai continues to run out of gas.
So it's got 2 floating. He can pay for the 2. Take 1, and
Fully
then
blocking.
4 more.
Kelvin not interested in keeping cards. Doesn't really have much option to be honest. The damage output is still pretty good turn to turn with Viserai. I would say after that first turn, Viserai's hands have been relatively smooth.
Yeah.
Kelvin down to 7. Viserai running very low on cards, actually. He might only have a couple
Holy
hands left.
smokes, man. He just keeps drawing heaters.
He still
He's got-
has some of those ores left in the deck.
Yeah, he does. He's got to make sure he's like, wow-wee.
I wonder how different this game would be if Kelvin was on Count Your Blessings. Although playing that into Reaping Blade always has its risk. But he has been lower for most of this game. So not Arcanic's Pain into it. I assume Viserai would know what this is at this point. Oh, Arcanite Shard. No, he shuffled with Sonata earlier in the game. Never mind. Getting an Amplify the Arcanite, sending in 1 arcane damage.
Prevented from Kelvin.
Viserai's going to need to find a way to crack through an entire hand of defense and deal an additional 7 damage and through the armor. Setting up with these Malefics definitely is part of that strategy. Going to throw this Amplify.
Making 3 on the back.
2 for 6, making 3. We'll have to see what's left in Viserai's deck.
I mean,
Isaac down to the bottom of the barrel. Persuasive Prognosis coming in. It's going to force a block of some sort. Maybe
no,
it's
you're
time for
supposed
the
to have
Tunic
3
now.
floating. What are you? Is that 3? I can't tell. It's like a 1 dice. Oh, that's a 3. Okay, it looked like a 1. I was like, oh no.
Yeah, 3 rune chance for the Viserai. You could block with Tunic here, but Tunic about to come up. That resource could come in handy. Giving a card here is a little bit tough. We know that Isaac has 9th Blade left in his deck, but it would be pretty difficult to cast it without pitching a bunch. And even if you did, it doesn't necessarily get over the defensive value of Kelvin's hands.
Uh-oh.
Blocking with the Tunic. Going for probably one of the last volleys of the game. Do have a Deadwood Dirge. Going up to 6 rune chance. Pitching a blue, coming in for Ninth Blade. Throwing 15 total damage. AB3. Tunic to AB. Kelvin's just trying to survive. Looks like he has some reds in his hand, though. Believe that's an Art of Desire body and a chest to Nick.
I believe it is.
Probably gonna need to block 6. Probably thinking if he needs to pitch this Codex or if he can afford to keep it. Only 5 cards left in deck for Viserai.
Not looking good for the Vis.
Kelvin still has 3 armor available, 7 HP. Does have to be worried about going too low in case a overpowered Machinations closes the game, but yep, deciding to pay 2 with the Codex, block, go down to 4. Time is pretty much up. We'll see for the player's discretion what are the likelihoods that Viserai would be able to actually push through, or if it's inevitably in New's favor. Time is up. Probably been called in the round.
Okay.
Viserai has to... Okay, never mind. They put the timer back to 10 minutes. Perhaps they had an extension due to setting up at the stream table that they might not have accounted for. Looking pretty likely this game is going to resolve then, if that is the case. Always good to see.
They got all the time.
Viserai is trying to piece together the last few cards in his hand and deck, seeing is there any way that he can present enough evasive damage or go over the top enough to get through Kelvin's blocks. Kelvin basically doesn't have to throw anything for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, if Viserai decides to take any kind of off turn, then Kelvin will just throw anything disruptive and then basically locks the game up at that point.
At this point in the game, you're like thinking of there's like an imagination. There's a barrier at like 12. So you're trying to think if you can do like 18 because you want to think about the Mask of Recurring Nightmares block. So you're thinking he has 12 defensive value plus the mask, 14. Can I do 18 with this hand? And that's kind of what I think he's probably mathing out. Can he get a hand that is worth 18 value?
Your best bets are probably to try and hope that Kelvin draws a very red heavy hand and be able to build a bunch of rune chants and or cheat in some evasive damage with Machinations overpower. But with D-React still left and the chances of that all coming together with Dirge and only one more tick on this Malefic, it's looking pretty tough. You definitely have seen the effect of getting all 3 of your Revels removed from your deck very early into the game. If any of those would have resolved at some point in this game, Kelvin would probably not be a 4 right now. He'd probably be dead.
So are you saying that Bonds of Agony is a good card? Can you confirm?
It is pretty solid.
Okay. It's so funny because you can see his heart rate throughout the game, and then now it's just like slowly going down. You can see it on his watch. It's like
That's genius. I think that Oh, we need to get. I think that Fab streams need to get Apple Watches for the stream table, and everyone has to wear a heart rate monitor while they're on camera.
I would.
Let's see who really has cold blood.
It's a fight little detail.
Looks like Rattlebone's coming out, pitching Shard. A little bit of extra damage getting in there.
I love me some Shard.
Are we thinking of what is the best thing to get with this Rattlebones?
Ninth blade. No, I'm just kidding.
Swarming Gloomveil's generally the obvious choice, but maybe going a little bit taller or something with... I know he's got a Machination somewhere in his deck. I'm not sure if it's in his hand currently, but... I do think you're going to have to try and play into some type of evasion. I don't know if your output is going to be able to get over just normal blocking.
Yeah.
Kelvin does have the sink below, though, so the overpower wouldn't do anything. Instead, choosing to go wide. Pitching for the rune chance, sink below. Not great so far. Looks like we have a Vexing Malice and a Become the Arc-Knight.
Ooh.
Ooh, another Rune Flash. Okay. We're going wide here. Potentially a chance. If Kelvin happens to go to 1, this Vexing Malice could sneak in a victory.
I think the next hand is Sigil. I believe. So he's got this one turn to do it all.
Yeah, there's almost assuredly nothing left in Viserai's deck after this turn.
Yeah.
Fortunately, Kelvin did have multiple blues. Three surgical, 3 of a kind, baby. It's like, yep, he's going to AB1, take 2, down to 1. Oh, and then give up Tunic Block. That is such a close margin, getting him down
Holy
to
smokes.
1 off the Vexing Malice.
Is there another one?
If he would have had...
It doesn't matter. There's 2 sigils in hand.
Kelvin lost strategically, keeping himself under Reaping Blade. Yep.
Holy smokes. What a game.
GG. Very, very close, actually, ended up. Viserai almost squeaked out enough damage to get through. It was looking very doomed for quite a bit, actually, but...
I think the real winner of that game was definitely Bonds. Bonds looked fantastic.
Yeah. We can definitely see how tricky that matchup can be for New. At some point, once you lose control of the disruption, the Viserai just runs you over with Rune Chance. And like I said, if those Revels were in play at any point in that game, probably a different outcome. But well played to Kelvin Law. That concludes the Swiss games of the Battle Hardened Hong Kong. I believe that win locks Kelvin in a spot in top 8. So good luck to him there. We will have the Top Cut coverage for you, brought to you by our lovely Josh and Nathan. Good luck to all the players, and thank you everyone for watching. We will see you guys again in the ProQuest Plus coverage coming later.
See you guys. Hey man, did you get the KO deck in Worlds? No one's doing that, okay? Like,
Earned to play the whole horse now. Don't kill him. Get greedy. You need 2 cards. Some guy put him in the middle for now. That's perfect. All right, next year. Hard hand chance. Robert. Yeah, we're gonna have to order a couple more.
Let me bone it and let me own it, my girl.